Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. This is Paul Finkelstein with my online meet and greet. Today, we have a special guest. His name is David Imada, and he'll tell you where he's from. I know he's at a couple locations there, and I found him on alignable.com. Maybe we might have crossed paths on LinkedIn or other social media, but how are you today, David?
I'm fine, Paul. Yes, we probably would cross paths, probably, but I'm glad you found me. I am in northern Las Vegas for tax purposes, of course, and I currently also
Excellent.
live in Santa Clara, California, home of Silicon Valley and high tech, and I commute back and forth. So that's where I'm right now. And I'm
Excellent. That
just
seems like it's short enough distance where you don't have to necessarily be in business class if you're flying to, say, Hawaii, where you need that nice, comfortable seating.
correct. 1 minute from Hawaii, so I'm used to that flight. I miss the islands, but it made sense because I was up here so often for conventions and conferences and trade shows that it made sense to have a place here and back there. And of course, I'm not sure about where you are, but in California, homes are small, very expensive. Uh, Las Vegas homes are big, very inexpensive compared to your cost of living. So my wife wanted to have a bigger place. So actually, we kind of expanded. So she's
Excellent,
happy.
excellent. And I'm glad that we're having this call so I can get a feel for you and our listeners can get a feel for you as well, especially the listeners after I submit this video that could be 13 minutes or 20 minutes, like a podcast length, onto my personal Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. The first question is pretty basic. I always like to ask, and that's just to tell us, and you can go in a 2 minute length or 5 minute length or 10 minute length, take as long as you need to
Sure.
tell us how long you've been doing what you're doing.
I've been doing what I've been doing off and on for over 35 years. I'm a senior citizen, semi-retired, originally from Hawaii. I moved up to California for the dot-com boom and bust, early 2000s. I've been there ever since. I'm currently director of business development for a venture capital company. Uh, but at the same time, I'm a serial entrepreneur myself. It's very successful, some failures. And I also like to mentor individuals or startups who need some good helping hand and advice to help them get to where they want to be. And I also have networking capabilities so I can bring other advisors on board for them. Yeah, this is all free. I don't charge for this service because I have a lot of knowledge up here. It's like you, right?
Excellent,
And I
excellent.
want to take advantage of it. And the fact that we can be virtually here in Florida and other places is great because unfortunately Las Vegas is not high-tech capital of the world. Uh, so my message is kind of muted here. So the more I can get into some other areas through your networking, be great because I want to help people. I'm currently helping two startups. Unfortunately, the more we get talking about what they do, the more confusion they have. A lot of companies
Ex-
have great ideas, right?
Excellent. Let's dive into the second question. Out of those 35 years, maybe you could share just one success story that you're proud of. That could be personal, business. Maybe you did something for nonprofits, helped a friend out. What's one success story you're
Well, one of them is between when I was between careers, I was like go back to school or help out. So I actually worked for a domestic women's violence shelter, abused women. First time into that area. They were kind of the back then 18th century, not the 19th to 20th century, as far as marketing, fundraising. As you're aware of, some of these nonprofits have what they call executive directors. Nowadays, they're going towards CEOs and more business structure. So I came in and I said, I want to be a director of marketing. And I got them into one of the largest Northern California grocery chains, and we put up one of those donation boxes. For a small company that only had about 10 employees and less than $1 million budget, that was a big boom for them because I used at that time my persuasive charms, hopefully, but also regular business development techniques from business that I apply to nonprofits. That's one of my best ones. Other than that, the other thing is just helping companies from zero to be successful that actually went to exit and became all rich to
doing?
IPOs. So some of those are my success stories.
That's awesome. Uh, Now, I know that you're not Kevin O'Leary on the Shark Tank. How he says it's all about the money for him. But I know a lot of business people. It's not all about the money. I want to. The point of the question though is, I want to know what is the passion that got you into doing what you're doing. Is it deep down in your background 35 years ago, or along the way something really turned that fire on and That's why you.
I've always been avid reader. I love technology. I like helping people. I was going to be actually a English teacher. I love writing, creative writing. Unfortunately, way back when, maybe even today, teachers didn't pay well. And my mom, bless her soul, been gone many years, but always told me, David, get a business degree. You can always get a job with business degree. So I applied myself. I have accounting, finance, and MBA. I always do a lot of seminars and training. But at the same time, again, I had a lot of successes, but I want to share because I have failures, like a lot of people. I made some mistakes. Even today, they're still relevant, just from not from technical side, but just from a business side, business strategy, right? Financing, operations, getting your right team together. And those are common sense solutions sometimes. And I like to just help them when I can because I have a lot of I'm semi-retired, just being honest, right? I've got income coming in. We still do a lot of deals, but those deals, when they're successful, I make a good chunk of money. So that helps me continue. So I'm not looking for the next dollar. The deals come to us. We get, my company and myself, always get approached. We got emails. I've been talking to people today before your call. I go to these trade shows. I went to the Consumer Electronics Show. I've got a bunch of companies that I'm helping to come to the United States from different countries. Those are kind of things. I like helping people. I've always been helping people. I was volunteer for a lot of nonprofits. I've done a lot of grant writing for company nonprofits. I volunteered a lot of times, and I understand what they do. But I got away from volunteering individually because my efforts just for one-on-one, let's say, working at a fund run or something, wasn't my best resources for them. I could do more on the higher level for them. For example, networking and getting some corporate sponsors in place, getting some people on the board of directors with some titles that be more conducive for what they need to do. And I'm lucky because the people that I work with at Edgewood Ventures, the partners, they're really well connected more than I am. In fact, the partner, Vishal Verma, is currently at the State of the Union right now. We do a lot of political fundraising with a lot of people. But again, we leverage that into helping people.
Now, if you were to ask another question, if you were me, what do you have any other questions that you might want your listeners or our listeners to know about you? Do you have a question that you'd like to ask now and then answer and go ahead and answer it?
The question would be, is David, I hear what you're saying, you're successful, maybe you had some failures. Why should I reach out to you? That's a good question. And the reason is I can point to track records. My LinkedIn is full of success stories of people I know. I'm a down-to-earth person. My motive to helping you is that I don't want you to lose your shirt and family. I'll give a quick example. I get approached for a lot of pitch videos. You know what that means? They make a video, they want money or they want help. I see a lot of them. I reach out to them sometimes with just suggestions and never to ask for anything back. It is based on my experience. There was one person that he was very passionate about what he did. I'm not going to tell you what it was. Very passionate. I gave him a strong pushback saying, please reconsider. That I really don't think what you have is going to make sense. And other people on the committee that we would give feedback to the same thing. But I reached out to him later, right? I didn't just say, next year, I reached out for coffee, we had a nice conversation. I gave him some encouragement. I reached out to him again. I said, please don't let this be all consuming. Right? Take a step back because it can have ramifications on your personal level. And unfortunately, I won't go details, but there has been some things happening. So my point is this, be passionate about what you do, but get somebody else who has a neutral point of view and give you some feedback. I can be like a sounding board, right? David, what do you think about this? I'm doing this. What's your experience in this? If I don't have the experience, I can give it to somebody else who might have experience. Remember, I've seen pretty much every single type of invention, except technology always changes, right? But the concepts of what they do, how to grow an organization. Just like you need to scale up your organization, correct, Paul? I mean, you started one person, but I think you got your wife on your team, you got other people. You can't make it by yourself. Okay? Mm-hmm. And you bring in other people who know more things than you do. I'm just making an assumption, because that's how I work too, right? Mm-hmm. I may know a lot of things, but I may not know a lot of the things. The person who starts a business, especially for alignable, is again networking in business. I mean, that's the point. And then also education and sharing is that reach out to people who have more resources than you do, has more experts come in to help you so that when you start making decisions, especially signing away your home, home equity for a loan, or back to your credit cards, get buy-in from your family, but also get some impartial input. If I'm not investing in a company, I'm not getting any services from, money for services, and I'm giving some ideas saying, please don't. I give some pros and cons. I have no vested interest in you. My goal is to help you have a better life. But if it makes sense to not do your business here for the dog, you should. So I'm here to encourage people to sounding board. And even if we don't agree, I can still give them basic information. That's what I hope to do with this, and reach out to across the United States.
That leads me to a really important question, and that's whatever way you feel more comfortable, whether it's email or a cell phone number or a website. How would you want, if somebody resonated with anything that you said over the last 10, 15 minutes, what would you want to give out here in the video format? How people
they can call me. Yeah, they can call me because
okay.
Yeah, they call me because it takes more guts to call me than email me.
So
right?
Do you want to say your phone number real slow twice?
Certainly. It's 650-714-7255. Again, it's 650-714-7255. I'm in Pacific Standard Time Zone. Just don't call before 7 o'clock.
Right. Remember, he's on Pacific Standard Time Zone. He did say the number
Correct.
twice. Did you have any more questions that you want to ask yourself and go ahead and answer it, or we'll recap?
Let me ask you a question. So, again, why do you recommend people using your alignable network?
Well, actually, I'm really humbled that you asked me that question, but I try to keep this interview just all about you. So I'll wrap up this, and then I'll answer that right after I hit these.
Oh, no problem. I just want to let people know that you reached out to me, which is really good. Mm-hmm. Again, it takes to me courage to reach out to somebody else that you don't know, and to request, because a lot of times people request and there's no response. I'm sure you get that, or I'm not bothered, or you're spamming me or something. I mean, I get that all the time. That's why I'm very cognizant of the fact that you took some time out to reach out to me, arrange this call, and I'm very happy to be on the call with you. Thank you.
I will give you one little thing that I'm so glad I discovered, that little thing called Calendly as a calendar, because I ended up with 10 people that I had to go back and forth on phone calls with, and it was just taking too long out of my time to do that. Instead, I just sent out one email with my calendar in it, and if it didn't fit into my schedule, I could always hit that reschedule button and say, how's this? I'm trying real hard.
I've seen that works very well.
That really was like a nice little way to scale up for one person. Just on that alone, I feel like it gave me the employee power without having any employees except for myself and my wife.
It's a good tool to use.
Let's wrap up this talk show, if you will, OMG Online Meet and Greet. I'm Paul Finkelstein. We've just been listening to David Imada. And if you want to learn where he's from and his 35 years experience and a whole lot more, he told us how long he's doing what he's doing. I think I just said that, actually. And he told us one success story that he's really proud of those 35 years. I'm sure there's a whole bunch in between, which he did allude to. And then he talked to us about what drove his passion and why he did what he does. And he also included, listen carefully in this 10 to 15-minute video, his cell phone number repeated twice. If you hear something and you want to get in touch with David Imada, feel free to give him a call as well. He's on Pacific time as well. That wraps up today's OMG Talk, or online meet and greet with Paul Finkelstein. If you found me on Alignable, LinkedIn, or anywhere on social media or in person, let's do a talk show just for you. I'll even email you a copy of the original video file, and you could find it on the various social medias, and you could comment below as well. Hey, great show, etc. I'll respond to it. Take care. David, it's great to have you here. Stick around just after I hit the stop button, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you very much.
It's been fun.